The Story of Leif and Jeanett, Part 4. After standing on Norway's largest stone, Jeanett wanted to show me what it looked like from the ground looking up. I followed her down the steep hill to the ground level. Upon reaching the bottom of the hill, she told me that this was a campground in the summer and people would be all over camping. We were only about 100 meters from the lake Jeanett. Below the rock, there is a large mowed field and a pathway not far away that follows the lake. We stood there looking up at the large boulder we had just been standing on. She was telling me how the campground is full of campers' tents in the summer. I was getting the feeling that she wanted me to know that lots of people visit Oda. I was sensing that she didn't want me to think that Oda was a quiet, secluded place. There was almost a mutual sense that I might want to move to Oda to make tiles. I felt like she wanted me to know that Oda was a spot where many people visit. And this takes me back to a message I sent her before I had left. A couple weeks before I had left the United States to go to Oda, I had been researching different things you could do there. I had been learning about the town. I learned about Trolltunga and noticed that there were many websites that spoke about hiking to Trolltunga. I decided that I wanted to hike to Trolltunga when I visited. I sent Jeanett a message before I left and showed her that I discovered this hike called Trolltunga that was near Oda. I sent her this message not asking her to hike it with me because we hadn't met yet. I was asking her to see what she would say. She responded enthusiastically to this message, making me understand that Trolltunga was an important aspect of Oda. So, I knew I wanted to hike there. But more importantly, I was excited to learn about her town. Every time I felt our friendship grow, I became more and more interested and excited to learn more about her town. Now that we were meeting for the first time and talking face to face, I was sensing that she was protecting her hometown and wanted me to know that it was an exciting place. This is what I felt from her when she was telling me how this campground is full of visitors all summer. Why would she be so interested in making me feel this way? After we took the first picture on top of the rock, I was left with the impression that she liked the idea of us taking a picture together because she was giving me positive vibes. Her interest in having her picture taken with me made me feel very good. You see, we were enjoying meeting each other. I asked if we could get another picture in front of this massive boulder, and she said sure. She was very chipper. We were standing out in front of the stone, and I was looking for a place to set the camera because this time I didn't want to take a selfie. I wanted to get our full bodies in the picture. There was a sign nearby, so I went over to the sign and tried to balance the camera on it so that I could set the timer, and an amazing thing happened. There was a sign nearby, so I went over to the sign and tried to balance the camera on it so that I could set the timer. And an amazing thing happened. Jeanett came over to me because she felt like she knew how to balance the camera. Not frustrated because I was taking too long, but she came over to me because she felt like she could help. She knew she could do it. I could tell that she knew she could do it because she must have been someone who took many pictures by herself and had become good at finding ways to set up a camera to use a timer with what was available. She was showing me that she had skills, and I will always remember that. This moment when I was setting up my camera was a moment Jeanett became even more attractive. Only someone who paid attention to details would know how to do that, and she wanted to help. I balanced the camera before I had a chance to accept her help. We decided where to stand, and I set the timer on my camera and ran over to where she was standing to get in the picture. I did this 2 or 3 times to make sure we had a good picture. Everything was feeling great. The pictures we took of each other were special, and we knew this was the climax of our hike, and we didn't need anything else to make this moment more meaningful. We knew this was the climax because there was a sense, a feeling that Across the ocean we met. I carved her in Norway. We were separated again. And now, standing on my hands and knees, we were walking together for the first time. All that mattered to this first dance is to find comfort in each other's presence, to be at the right moment at the right time. I was standing on my hands and knees because I was giving everything to her and she knew it. But most importantly, I knew it. How could anything go wrong if all we needed to prove to each other is that we could do something together and be happy doing it? What could we have wanted? What more could we have wanted? If I hadn't been standing on my hands and knees, if I hadn't been risking it all, I would have missed our dance that day. There was no time anymore to wait for tomorrow, to give it all to a neighbor. So I gave it all to Jeanett because she was showing the world who she was. After the picture, I was following her lead and we could both tell that this had been exciting and we both knew without saying anything that our friendship had begun. Obviously, we didn't need to spend more time together, and we both felt in that moment that it was time to walk back to our cars. We basically didn't know each other well enough, and our friendship was just beginning, so we needed time to let this grow in our minds. It was not appropriate or necessary to continue walking around. We had a lot to digest, and I think we both understood this. So in our mutual excitement, we both just knew it was time to walk back to our cars. Remember, I still hadn't given her the tiles I made for her, and we had not talked about that yet.